Did animals in the Middle Ages actually get put on trial like humans? It sounds ridiculous, but it really happened. In medieval Europe, animals were treated as legal beings under the law, and if an animal injured or killed a person, it could be arrested, brought before a court, and sentenced just like a human criminal. Pigs were the most common defendants because they roamed freely through towns and villages, but cows, horses, dogs, rats, and even insects were also put on trial. These were not symbolic cases either. Animals were assigned lawyers, witnesses testified, and judges issued formal rulings. In 1386, a pig in France was accused of killing a child. The pig was dressed in human clothing, convicted of murder, and publicly executed in front of a crowd. To medieval society, justice applied to everyone, even animals. If that was considered normal, what else did people in the Middle Ages believe? Did people in the Middle Ages really believe bathing was dangerous? Surprisingly, yes. Many medieval doctors believed that hot water opened the pores of the skin, and once those pores were open, disease could easily enter the body and make a person sick. Some religious leaders also warned that frequent bathing encouraged vanity and weakened moral discipline, so cleanliness was not seen as healthy, it was seen as risky and unnecessary. Public bathhouses did exist in medieval cities, but during plague outbreaks they were shut down and blamed for spreading illness. As a result, many people went months, and sometimes years, without fully bathing. Instead, people relied on perfumes, herbs, scented oils, and layered clothing to mask odor, and ironically, avoiding water may have made disease spread faster, not slower. If people avoided bathing, how did medieval doctors actually try to cure illness? The answer might surprise you. Medieval medicine was based on an ancient theory called the four humours, which were blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile, and doctors believed the body stayed healthy only when these fluids were perfectly balanced. Any illness meant something was out of order, so the most common treatment was to remove blood from the body in order to restore balance. This practice was known as bloodletting, and it was one of the most trusted medical procedures of the time. Doctors cut veins or applied leeches to drain blood from patients, and bloodletting was used to treat fevers, infections, headaches, inflammation, and even mental illness. Sometimes patients became extremely weak, and in many cases they died from blood loss rather than the original disease. Despite this, bloodletting remained popular for centuries and was considered serious and advanced medical science. But medicine wasn't the only thing tightly controlled in medieval life. Could what you wore in the Middle Ages actually be illegal? Yes, and it often was. Medieval Europe enforced strict clothing regulations known as sumptuary laws, which controlled what people were allowed to wear based on their social class. Certain colors, fabrics, and styles were reserved for nobles and royalty, and purple, silk, velvet, and fur were often forbidden to common people. If a peasant dressed above their station, they could be fined, publicly shamed, or punished, and clothing violations were treated as serious offenses. What you wore told everyone exactly where you belonged in society. Fashion was a public display of status, obedience, and power, and breaking the dress code was not rebellion, it was a crime. And when disease struck, did medieval doctors really dress like something out of a nightmare? They did. During outbreaks of the Black Death, doctors wore long coats and masks with large, beak-shaped noses that were meant to protect them from infection. Inside the beaks, doctors stuffed herbs, flowers, spices, and dried plants because people believed disease spread through bad air, not germs, and the masks were designed to filter out poisonous smells. In reality, the outfit offered almost no protection at all. Plague doctors often carried wooden canes so they could examine patients from a distance without touching them. Despite their official appearance, most treatments were ineffective, and for many patients, seeing a plague doctor meant the illness was already fatal. The Middle Ages were not simply dark or primitive, they were shaped by fear, belief, and limited understanding. People made decisions based on what they believed was true at the time. And even when those ideas seem bizarre today, they shaped history for centuries. Thank you for watching You Were Never Told. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more.